So, autism and inertia, do you make these mistakes? Because I have a feeling you probably do. So, okay, let me sit down here properly. What is going on, guys? Okay, so inertia. I've done a few videos on inertia, right? And a lot of people, let me just fix this camera. I feel like you guys are far away. Are you far away? Okay, good. So I feel like a lot of people would be like, inertia? I think I know what that is, or maybe I do. But look, inertia is the moment where you want to do something, but you can't start it, right? You can't start a task. And autistic individuals, ADHD individuals, you know what I'm saying. So how do we overcome this? Well, there's ways we can overcome this. And I'll link you to a video where I give 5 hacks on how you can ace life, having this inertia, and how you can overcome it with 5 simple steps, which is really good. And I've implemented these. But there are things that we do in our life. There are things that we do in our day-to-day life, which actually impact our ability to overcome inertia, and it then reshapes how we think about it and reshapes how it actually impacts our life, which, by the way, I'm going to add, I am going to help solve for you right now. So there are 3 main pieces. So I just want to interrupt this video and say, guys, if you are already following me, thank you so much. But if you're not, I actually have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter or X, so you can go and follow me on those. The handle is at TheAspieWorld on all those socials, so go please check me out on there. I do daily videos on there too. Now, when we think about inertia, and I've said this in a video before, inertia is basically, and when Newton kind of coined this term inertia, he said that when there's an object in motion, it stays in motion, right? And what that means is, if we break it down to autism inertia, it's kind of like this. You have autistic people who are hyper-focused on something, and then they can't deviate from that, right? Which means that they're on a task, or they're on a hyper-focus, and they can't switch off that, right? Because to something else, like, because they're so involved in it, right? Again, something in motion is constantly in motion. Or if they're not doing any task at all, it's hard to start a task because, again, they're in motion from not doing something, and they can't deviate from that. And so this actually does lead to a lot of issues. Actually, inertia was probably one of the most debilitating parts of having autism, next to my OCD. I always say this, like, my OCD was like my biggest thing, like that really gets me down with autism and really impacts me a lot. But in terms of inertia, it's probably the biggest one. It's kind of like having writer's block, right? So I remember trying to start a task. I had, basically with YouTube, it's all kind of ranking stuff, right? If you know anything about YouTube and ranking videos on YouTube, you basically have to know what titles you use to make the best titles and keywords and all this SEO stuff, and it kind of becomes quite overwhelming. But when you're trying to make YouTube videos, you have to take these things into consideration. Now, one of the things is I really love that type of information, but I also really want my channel to do well. So I have to sit down and create video metadata, which is basically like all the stuff that goes into the description and the title and all that kind of stuff. How do I do that, right? How do I do that if I've got inertia? So what was happening was I'd be sitting down and be like, okay, I need to plan this video out. And then I'd just be sitting there doom scrolling on Facebook. Like, I'd get my phone out, I'd be like, oh, there's a cute cat, blah, 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 and I wouldn't get anywhere because I'd be doom scrolling the whole time, which sucks, big ones, but at the same time, it's not my fault initially, it's just inertia, because I was making mistakes. And what are these 3 mistakes? I'm going to go through all 3 of them right now. So the first mistake, and I've written down here, so if you see me looking over, it's because I'm looking at my computer and my notes. First one is, you sit and stoop as soon as you feel you cannot get a task done. Oh my goodness, this is what I mean. So I sat down at my computer and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this task now, and then I felt overwhelming, like I have to do keyword research, and I have to do title research, and I have to test the title, then I have to do an A/B testing, then I have to get the right thumbnail, then I have to get the right metadata for the videos, and all this kind of became a huge daunting task. And I was like, I do this on my own, it's just me, and against this big scary world of all these things, how can I even do this? And then I just sat there and stooped, and I felt sorry for myself. I was like, oh well, I'm never going to overcome this, I'm never going to feel good, so that's it, I'm done. Okay, wrong. This is not to do. You definitely make this mistake. Because when you feel this moment of inertia where you're like, I can't start this task, or I have no motivation to do this task, it's not a lack of motivation, it's this object in motion issue, right? So how do you stop an object in motion? You stop it by touching it or creating a different path for it to be on. And that path for it to be on could be stopping still. So this is what I did. I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing, but I need a little bit of a kick up the bum. And so I went onto YouTube and I looked for gurus who were releasing videos or books or podcasts about SEO and title making that were more up to date than what I'd already known, right? Because I already knew this information, but I wanted to know what has changed. So then I found some new exciting bits that showed me different tactics and techniques to help increase those video keyword optimization, which is a big word, but basically just means how well a title looks, so that people will go, okay, I understand what this video means. I understand what this video is about. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that, you see the video, you know exactly what it is when you see the title and the thumbnail. So that got me excited. I got excited about new information, new data. So as soon as I was like stooping around being like, oh, I can't do this, can't do that, then I was like, okay, get me excited about something. So I deviated. I took the motion, the object that was in motion, which was me standing still, being grumpy, and I put it into a different set of, like a different timeline, a different track. Bang, got me motivated. I wanted to test something out because it was something new, it was something exciting. That's probably the biggest problem when we sit there and stoop, is because we don't have that exciting thing. It's not new for us. It's something kind of mundane, right? And if that's the case, just switch it to something that makes you exciting, or get something new about that's exciting. And there's something new about everything, even like yarn and cotton and stuff. You can probably find a new article in a magazine somewhere about yarn and cotton that you probably didn't know before. If you're looking for online counseling directly from your home to use your tablet or smartphone or computer, then I definitely recommend checking out BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp actually helped me. They find you a therapist within 24 hours bespoke to your specific needs. So say you have ADHD or you have some other health condition that you put down, they will find you within 2 days, really. They'll find you a therapist for that. Now, you can go to the link in the description down below, or you can go to theaspieworld.com/BetterHelp right now to get started. I do get a commission for anybody who signs up, but I think this is a valuable service and I've used this myself. So I'm just handing that over to you. Okay, let's get on with it. So number 2, and this is really interesting as well. You do not take regular sensory breaks when hyper-focusing on a task or project. Ooh, this is so interesting. People who are in motion when they're doing a task, they will get blindsided. Like, so this is basically what it is. You'll be on a task and then suddenly you'll stop the task and you can't then restart the task. Why? Why is this? And it comes from the fact that when you're in motion, when you're doing something, you start a task, right? The task could be, I don't know, you're writing a book, for instance, and you're sitting there writing the book, and then you go for a coffee break and you come upstairs and your mind is just disconnected from the thing and you can't get back to it. Why? Because you're exhausted. Your mind, your senses are overloaded with the information that you've just sat down for hours just absorbing. But you spent too much time focusing on that thing without implementing regular breaks for sensory destimulation or a decompression of sensory stimuli. Because writing a book is demanding. Sitting there is demanding. Having to do something to a deadline is demanding, right? But if we allow ourselves small little 5 to 10 minute breaks of complete silence away from the task that we're doing, just to give our brain a little bit of decompression and a relaxation, what then happens is you will shift away from this kind of like motion of where you stop a task and then to try and start back up a task, it's never going to happen. How many half-finished products have you got, right? I have so many, but that stops now because I know all these hacks, right? But you know exactly. Look, give me a thumbs up on this video if you know exactly what I'm talking about, and also subscribe to this channel if you're finding this video interesting and you want to see more from me like this. That being said, this is how we do it. Take regular sensory breaks. It doesn't take a lot. It takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's going to be way worth your while, and you're going to get so much more out of it. So try and do that, implement it as soon as possible, and you'll beam like the sun. Okay, so the last one is practice list building and task management. This is probably the biggest one. And we know this because autistic individuals, ADHD individuals will have lists upon lists upon lists upon lists. You'll have a list on your phone, you'll have a list on real life, you'll have countless notepads, you'll have a stack of notepads in your house with just all the lists and stuff on it. The problem is you've never said, okay, this is the thing I have to do, and then you've never given it a deadline or a timeline. You've never said, I'm going to do it by this day, this time, and this is how I'm going to action it. So with each item on your to-do list, write the item and then write, I need this completed by certain date, right? Give yourself a deadline. And then say to yourself, these are all the ways I need to do it, right? Okay, the car needs a valet. So the car needs a valet by the weekend. So what I need to do, I need to reach out to the valet, book a date, organize a lift to take it in there and come home, or an Uber or whatever. That's it. You just do those tasks because every task has small broken down pieces or computational pieces, which basically means that we break it down into smaller manageable pieces that you're going to be able to actually overcome. And this is how we do it. And the thing about task management, it's how you write it down into more manageable pieces. And then you say, okay, I'm going to add this to my calendar that needs to be done by this day. And then you can just set up an alert. You could even ask Siri on your phone to like tell you like, oh, okay, well, it's going to be done by this day. Or, I know I use my iPad because it's a lot easier to kind of deal with. But like literally you get your phone to do it. You can organize it into the calendar on your phone. Jobs are good and you're good to go. That is typically the most effective way to task manage if you've got like lists coming out of your ears and stuff. And consolidate your list, get all your lists together, write a big old long list. You'll notice that some of them have been written twice on multiple lists. So you don't have many lists, you have like one large list, not an obnoxiously big list, okay? And that is how you overcome it. And those 3 mistakes are all the things that you're doing that are not allowing you to progress forward. So you're just constantly stuck kind of peddling water, not getting anywhere. And then the pressure of that, and then the embarrassment of it, and the humility, like, oh, I want to get to all these things and do all this. It doesn't matter. You're never going to be able to unless you implement those 3 mistakes, the reverse options, which are the things I've given you. And hey, you'll be beaming like the sun. You'll be getting through your tasks, and autism inertia will be a thing of the past. I promise you. I just want to interject in this video here to let you know that confidence is one of the main issues that holds autistic individuals back from their full potential. This is why I made a course which is the Chaos to Confidence in 90 Days Blueprint, which means I can take an autistic person from complete chaos to being very confident and acing their life. So if you're an autistic adult and you want access to this program, you can check it out. The link is in the description down below. Or you can go to theaspieworld.com/C2C right now, the number 2, and get access to this program.